All right. Settle down, architecture aficionados, because Arthur's got a story for you. A story about a building that's as divisive as a pineapple on pizza, as controversial as a Yankees fan in Fenway Park. Today, we're diving deep into the belly of the beast, the concrete leviathan that looms over Park Avenue like a giant middle finger to good taste, or a stroke of genius, depending on who you ask. I'm talking, of course, about the MetLife Building, formerly, and perhaps forever, in the hearts of purists, the Pan Am Building. Yeah, that's it, right there, that hulking monolith. For some, she's a scar on the face of our fair city, a brutalist brute that dared to interrupt the elegant flow of Park Avenue. For others, she's a bold statement, a symbol of power, a testament to the audacity of modernism. Me, I see a bit of both, with a healthy dose of what the hell were they thinking thrown in for good measure. But to understand the MetLife Building, kids, we gotta go back. Back to a time when air travel was glamorous, when stewardesses were chic, and when Pan American World Airways was king. His was their baby, their gleaming headquarters, designed by none other than Emery Roth and Sons, with a little help, shall we say, from Walter Gropius, the granddaddy of the Bauhaus, and Pietro Belluschi. These are titans we are speaking about, heavyweights. Now, they say a camel is a horse designed by committee. Well, the Pan Am Building? It's like a whole damn stable of thoroughbreds got mashed together by a committee of blindfolded monkeys. You got your international-style sleekness trying to wrestle with some half-baked attempt at monumentality. The result? A building that screams, "Look at me," while simultaneously whispering, "I have no idea what I'm doing." Just look at this thing. That octagonal shape, those precast concrete panels. It's like they tried to soften the blow of its sheer size by adding these little decorative touches, but it just ends up looking like a bodybuilder in a tutu. And don't even get me started on how it completely obliterates the view down Park Avenue. It's like they took a giant architectural eraser and just rubbed out a century of urban planning. Poof! Gone! Replaced by this thing. It's a crime against sightlines, people. A felony against aesthetics. And the public? Oh, they weren't shy about sharing their feelings. "Monstrosity!" they cried. "Eyesore!" they shrieked. "A blight on the cityscape!" they wailed. Critics tore it apart like a pack of hungry wolves on a day-old bagel. And you know what? I can't say I blame them. This building, in its original form, stuck out like a sore thumb, a giant concrete thumb that was flipping the bird to the entire city. But, and this is a big but, folks, there's no denying the sheer audacity of it all. This was the jet age, baby. And Pan Am was soaring higher than a 747. They needed a headquarters that screamed power, that reflected their global dominance. And they got it. This was the world's largest commercial office building at the time, a symbol of American ambition and corporate might. Plus, you had that iconic rooftop heliport. Imagine hopping in a chopper and being whisked away to JFK, bypassing the midtown traffic. Talk about living the high life. That was something, wasn't it? Of course, that high life came crashing down, literally. A tragic accident in 1977, where a helicopter rotor blade broke loose, killing 5 people, put an end to the rooftop flights. A dark stain on an already controversial building. And as Pan Am's fortunes dwindled, so did the building's luster. By the early 90s, the airline was bankrupt, and the iconic Pan Am logo was replaced with the decidedly less glamorous MetLife. MetLife, to their credit, they tried. They poured millions into renovations, attempting to soften the building's harsh edges, to make it a bit more palatable to the public. They added some color, changed the lighting, tried to humanize the beast, as much as one can humanize a concrete giant. So, MetLife takes over. They slap their name on the side, try to polish up the image. But what did they really inherit? A behemoth. We're talking a building that stands at 808 feet tall, with 3.14 million square feet of rentable space. Let me put that in perspective for you. That is the size of 54.5 football fields, including both end zones. Yeah, you heard that right. Enough room to make even the most jaded New Yorker say, "Damn, that's big." But the MetLife Building's legacy extends far beyond its physical presence. It's a cautionary tale, a case study in what happens when architectural ambition outpaces urban planning. It sparked debates about scale, about context, about the very soul of a city. It forced New Yorkers to confront the question, how tall is too tall? How big is too big? And at what cost does progress come? It is a lesson that is being studied still. So, here she stands, decades later. The MetLife Building. Still controversial, still debated, still a giant middle finger, or maybe now just a slightly raised eyebrow, to the traditional New York skyline. Do I love it? Hell no! Do I hate it? Not entirely. It's a fascinating, frustrating, flawed masterpiece of modernism. It's a reminder that even the grandest plans can go awry, that even the biggest dreams can have unintended consequences. And perhaps it has a lesson for us. It's a building that demands to be reckoned with, that forces you to have an opinion. And in a city that's constantly evolving, constantly reinventing itself, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe that's exactly what a building should do. Spark debate, ignite passion, make us question what we value, and challenge us to not be blinded by sheer size. This is Arthur for Magnitudes, reminding you that the skyline's always changing, and so are we. And that the MetLife, the old Pan Am, it is not just steel and concrete, but a mirror. Now go out there and look up. You might be surprised at what you see, and what you think about it. I surely was.